here.
Hello, my name is Beck and welcome to my Contemporary-A-THON reading vlog. We are doing this part of the vlog with a dog. Vlog with a dog. I just got home from my temp job and he has decided to sit on my lap even though he's a Labrador. This is Max. So today is actually Tuesday and it's about 6 o'clock in the evening, and surprisingly it's still light because it's daylight savings outside, so that means I get to film after work because it's really hard to film a reading vlog while working 9 to 5 and having a commute as well. Oh, there goes the dog. So I'm just dropping in because I didn't get a chance to update you before Tuesday and I wanted to show you my TBR for the readathon. I will leave my video link below in case you haven't seen it yet, but the first book that is on my TBR is actually Neverland by Margot McGovern, and this is a fairly dark mental health book. It's a loose Peter Pan retelling as well, and I've read like 18 pages. So I started this yesterday on my break at work, but my break is only about 30 minutes long, so that's not really enough to get stuck into a book. I am really liking it so far. It's an Australian young adult book, and the author Margot is just such a sweetheart, so I'm really excited to read this. I've heard from friends that it's a 5-star book, so I'm anticipating that I will give it 5 stars as well. But it's also a fairly triggering book when it comes to mental health and self-harm. So if you want to read this one, just be aware of that before you pick it up. I've also got The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime on my TBR, and I actually found this on audiobook, so I've started listening to it already. I started it yesterday and I got like an hour through it, maybe 40 something minutes, and it's a 6-hour long audiobook, so it's really not that long at all. The narrator in this is an autistic boy and he witnesses, well, he finds a dog's body and it has potentially been murdered, but you're not quite sure, and so this is told in the voice of him trying to find out what happened, and it's him talking about social nuances and how he just doesn't understand them and what he ends up doing instead. I believe he's at 15 years old and his name is Christopher. So like I said, I've only just started this one. I feel like it'll be about a 3 or 3.5 star read for me because it seems like a really good book in general. The voice is very on point, the pacing is really great, and the chapters are really short, so it feels like you're reading it really fast as well. But I just don't think it will be something that I tend to gravitate towards. But I'm giving it a go because I got it as a gift from my lovely friend Jung. So I hopefully will enjoy this even though I know that it's not going to be one of my new favourites. Next, I've also got Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, and I really wanted to listen to an audiobook of this one as well, but I might end up just picking it up physically, but we'll see. I feel like the contemporary books on this list will be read really quickly when I get stuck into them, but I just haven't had time to actually sit down and read because I've been so busy. I'm house sitting at the moment and my family are away, so I'm looking after the dog, I'm doing a bunch of cooking and washing and cleaning and everything, and it takes up so much time. I mean, obviously I know it takes up a lot of time, but yeah, errands and house stuff is just taking up so much of my time after I finish work, so I haven't been reading as quickly as I'd like. That's probably going to be the main point of this vlog, me going, I don't have time to read, here are all the books I want to read. I have read none of them. So hopefully I can get through at least a handful of them before this vlog ends or this readathon ends, because I really like contemporary even though I don't read it that often, and I like finding new favourites. So hopefully I really enjoy this one. I've heard some great things about it, and I have read a few of John Green's other books. I read The Fault in Our Stars ages ago and Looking for Alaska and a bunch of his others, but I liked them a lot, and The Fault in Our Stars made me cry so much, so I'm hoping that this one is a good read for me as well because I've heard great things about it. Next up I have Stone Girl, and this is another Australian young adult book, and again it's dark and it focuses on a family foster care system in Australia, and it's about this 12-year-old girl named Sophie, and I'm not clear on whether her mother has passed away or whether her mother has just kicked her out of home, but she basically ends up in the foster care system, and I feel like this is going to feature a lot of violence, potentially sex and drugs in it, and I've heard that it's really hard-hitting but really well written, so I'm looking forward to starting this. I met Eleni Hale at an event in 2018 when I was working with Penguin, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one as well because Eleni is such a lovely person and I'm just excited to read this. Also, it has a really pretty cover, and I don't usually gravitate towards books that have faces on the covers, but I think this is one of the rare exceptions and I really like it. And then finally on this TBR I have Fruits Basket by Natsuki Takaya, and this is the 6th out of I think 12 or 13 volumes. These are bind ups, so they're actually 2 volumes in one, which makes them a little bit longer, but I'm really loving this series. It has a little bit of a silly premise, which is this girl named Toru, she is living in a forest because her mother has passed away, and she stumbles across the Soma estate, and she also stumbles onto the Soma family secret, which is if they are hugged by a member of the opposite sex, then they turn into an animal of the Chinese zodiac, and she kind of finds this out all at once, and it's pretty funny. It's kind of a contemporary romantic comedy with a lot of soul searching and just soulful discussion as well. It's really hard to describe without it sounding silly, but I genuinely really love this series. Each of the volumes in this that I've read so far, because I'm rereading it, I don't remember the ending because I read it a couple of years ago, but each of the volumes that I'm reading, they've just made me kind of emotional and teary, and even though not all of them have been 5 stars, this series overall for me is a 5 stars, so I'm really looking forward to diving back into this one because I believe I have this volume and then volume 7 on my shelf as well, so if I get time in this readathon, I'll definitely pick up the 7th volume too. You're a good boy, aren't you? Yeah. Oh yeah. So in summary, these are all of the books that I really want to finish this week, and I hope I get to at least half of them. I'm really hoping that I do. If you've read them, please let me know, and if they're on your TBR, please let me know. I'd love to hear about what your thoughts are. But anyway, I need to go and feed this one and also go to yoga later, so I'd better wrap up this clip now, but I'll catch you throughout the rest of my vlog. See ya! Hello, it is Thursday, and usually I would be at work right now, except Max was sick last night, so I'm just staying home today to make sure he's okay. But while I was at home, I ended up getting a package, so I'm going to open it for you. I think I've only had one package from a publisher all year, and I don't know what these are. I'm not sure if I've requested them or not, so I'll just open them up. I've got my scissors and I'll show you what's inside. Ooh, this is really cool. I thought these would be finished copies, but they're actually ARCs, which are advanced reading copies or book proofs. This first one is called You're Crushing It, and it sounds hilarious. It says that it's the survival guide for teens who are nailing it online but don't quite know how to live in the real world. And I'm not a teen, but I definitely feel that. So this sounds like a really interesting, funny, fun, and realistic contemporary. So that's really cool. I think it comes out in June. Yeah, it says on the front. It says on the front 13th of June, so it's coming out in June from Bloomsbury. This next one is a young adult fantasy, and it's a stunning and original new YA, and it is called We Are Blood and Thunder, and I think I've seen a few people floating around with copies of this on Twitter, but I actually don't really know what it's about. I should have been able to tell this from the title, but just from the line in the media release, it says, "She who spins the cloud weaves the storm," so it sounds like it focuses on elemental magic of some kind, and honestly I don't really need to read anything else about it. A young adult fantasy that focuses on elemental magic is very much up my alley. If you don't know, I love Fireblood by Ellie Blake, Frostblood and Nightblood, which I've yet to read. That is a wonderful young adult fantasy series, and it has elemental magic at its core, so I think this is pretty up my alley, it's safe to say, so I'm looking forward to reading this one as well. We Are Blood and Thunder also says that it publishes in April 2019 on the spine, but on the media release it says May, so I feel like this publishes at the very end of April. Thank you so much, Bloomsbury. This was such a lovely surprise. I'm really excited to get stuck into these. So for the rest of the day I'm going to be spending it at home and making sure that little Maxie boy isn't sick anymore. He seems to be doing alright, so I'm just going to mooch around, and I've been watching a lot of bullet journaling videos on YouTube. I'm not really into bullet journaling as a life tracker kind of thing, but I am in terms of the writing and the layout and the font and the way things are displayed on the page. I like the mixture of art and the way things get stuck in, and the way, I don't know, I just like the way things are displayed. It's very appealing to the eye. I've wanted to try bullet journaling, but more in a way to convey my creative process when I'm creating a story, because I want to write a couple of things, but I just haven't got around to doing so, and I think I'm holding myself back because I don't really know how to start any of them, and I don't know where any of them are going. I've just got a little idea in mind, and I really need that seed to grow. So I think interrogating the way that I want things to be displayed, and also plotting the way things will be displayed on a page, and figuring out what I want to display. And what I'm trying to get at is that a bullet journal will really help me convey what types of thoughts that I want to put on the page, and therefore how I'm going to structure what I want to write. So it'll force me to interrogate what I want to investigate in terms of character and plot, and even the look of certain things, and just it'll help me grasp my story more in a mental context, because I don't really know what I want to convey yet. Even though I've got a few little details in mind, I just really want to make them grow as much as possible, really. As for my reading, I haven't really done that much since I last spoke to you. I've got just over an hour into The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime. Like I said, I am liking that, even though it's not going to be a new favourite or anything. I haven't started Fruits Basket or Turtles All the Way Down, or what's over there as well, or Stone Girl. I have read a little bit of Neverland, but not that much. Like I said, it's hard to read on my break at work. I might get some reading done today because I do have the day off today, but we'll see how I go. I don't really want to pressure myself into reading when I've got other creative stuff that I want to do. So I'm probably just going to end this clip now, but I will catch you soon, and I'll update you where I am with my reading in my next clip. Hello again, I'm just coming in to wrap up the end of my Contemporary-A-thon vlog, and I only actually read one book in the readathon. I also don't have my microphone, so forgive any sound in this clip, but I only finished one book for the readathon, which I'm a little bit disappointed by, but not overly. I have been in a little bit of a slump just because I've been so busy, so I'm really glad that I got through a book that was Australian as well. For Neverland, I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I did really enjoy it. It was very confronting in terms of self-harm and mental health because it's set in the backdrop of a mental health facility on an island where all of the characters kind of reflect the lost ones in the Peter Pan tales, so that's why it's called Neverland. Our main character, Kit, kind of walks the line between fantasy and reality on this island because she lived here with her parents and then her parents both passed away. So she's kind of got to navigate those deaths, that grief, and kind of what their passing did to her and what their legacy left for her and how she becomes the person that she is and how she makes her own family with her friends and the people that were left behind after her parents' death. I really did wish that I got to the Fruits Basket manga that I had on my TBR because I was really looking forward to reading that, but I just ran out of time because I'm actually filming this and it's the week after Contemporary-A-thon. It's like a Wednesday evening, so I'm definitely way behind on wrapping up this vlog. I also continued reading The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime and I got a little bit over halfway on that one as well. I might end up DNFing it just because I'm not really that into it. It's not really a book that I would usually pick up. I think I said that in one of my previous clips. The voice is really convincing and I do really enjoy the narration, but it's just something that I know won't be more than a 4 or more than a 5-star rating from me, so I'm not really seeing why I should effectively quote unquote waste my time reading it. I think if I ended up picking it up in school I would have really liked it because it would have meant that I had to actively interrogate the themes and the voice of the main character, but because I'm just reading it for leisure it's not really hitting me in the same way that it would have if I studied it and actually looked properly into the depths of it. So I'll probably only rate that 3 stars or 3.5 stars, or I'm going to end up DNFing it. I'm not really sure yet. I might just leave it, let it settle and come back to it later. And then obviously if I don't end up coming back to it, I probably will DNF it. But yes, that wraps up my Contemporary-A-thon vlog. This is the only book that I finished, but it was a really great one, so it's not that bad. I'm actually fairly happy with my results, even though I do wish I read more, but I'm working on that. I've already actually started Priority of the Orange Tree, so hopefully that pulls me out of my slump because it's really hard to read and get invested in something when you're really tired from working all day. But I will definitely update you on how I go. I hope that you end up picking this one up if you're really into contemporary books because this is a really great read. Thank you so much for watching this Contemporary-A-thon vlog. Let me know how you did on your TBRs. I'm sure you did a lot better than I did. Thank you so much for watching and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!